Hello, how is everyone? So, how's the coronavirus looking in Vietnam? Well, today would be Tuesday. Pretty much all up until Monday, everyone was pretty cautious. I don't know what happened on Monday, or if people aren't taking it serious here anymore, but or my other theory is they can't get masks anymore, but many more people are going out, many more people are wearing less masks, which I don't understand. I think it might be because there's only reported 15 cases here. Another case was diagnosed this morning of a baby that got it from his grandma. Almost all the cases are coming from the north now. So I'm just going to use logic on this one. If it's coming from the north down, and what's at the north of Vietnam, that would be China, then it's going to gradually go from the north, even though we already had some Ho Chi Minh cases, and I think there's many more. I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist or an alarmist or a expert in this field either, so I think it's starting to spread now from the top, and then it's going to come to the bottom. It now has a incubation period of 24 days. It's our nozzle, so it can spread just through the air by being within 15 or 20 meters of it now. This is what I suspected all along, is that we never had the right information. Until China lets other countries in to come take a look at this thing, which they're supposedly getting ready to do, we don't have the best of optics on what's really going on. No white people wear masks here. Any tourist is just running around like it's a regular holiday, like no big deal. And that kind of seems to be what's happening with the general Vietnamese people, at least in my area. Is everything's returning to normal already, and we don't even have optics or real stats on anything yet. So I'm walking to the ATM. Once I get to Japantown, I will show what it looks like there. And I'll do a little bit more discussing on what's going on, but as far as from what I've seen, and the people all had masks on about a week ago. Now it's 50-50. I'm not particularly stoked when I have to ride in an elevator with people without masks on. I don't know if it's because the stock is so sold out, or they're just not wearing it to wear it. So I think as the information comes out, now that this thing has a 24-day incubation period, and even now the WHO is finally saying there could be a spark that got ignited in the French Alps by a mass carrier, which means your body's got so attuned to the infection that you're healthy, but you massively spread it to others. So I'm going to also link 3 different YouTube channels that I use for my information to gather this stuff. One of the guys is a stats guy and a doctor. I think he has the best optics on what's really happening. So yeah, once I get to the bank, I'll update on what the streets look like. But as of Monday, everything got pretty busy here again. Everyone seems to be going out. Not everyone has a mask on, like I said. So all right, so I'll show you when I get there. Example, tourists, no mask. They're impervious. It's a common thing, like I said. Viet not wearing masks, maybe Japanese. You'll see quite a few. I'll walk down the street and I'll show you though. More. See? Not a care in the world. I don't know if ignorance or bliss, or we'll have to see how that all plays out. Let's take a look around. I'll pop in the old pharmacy and see if they have any masks. So usually there'd be many more people walking around this area too. This is a pretty densely traveled street. There'd be way more tourists as well too. Here's the queue. Look at the queue in the pharmacy. I can already see no masks. There's the shelf where they would be. Okay, see, that's the empty shelf. They're trying to get hand sanitizer. They have a few bottles of it. So order just must have came in for the hand sanitizer. These chicks never want to be filmed, so I'll just point the camera my way. It's a quick way to deter them though, from not coming at you. But yeah, not nearly as many people as you would normally see. Where's my food lady? Okay, so I'll pop in the pharmacy and see what they actually have for sale in a little bit here. I just got done at the ATM. I'm walking back now. Another foreigner with no mask. So I can tell you this. Let me take this thing off real quick. So I can tell you this. Many foreigners with no masks on. Most of it still have masks on. Cities returned back to full force. Japantown was not nearly as crowded as it usually was. There's just less tourists here. I'm assuming many canceled their flight. Once I get back inside, I'll do a couple more minutes about all the statistics of where they're factually at, reported wise, and stuff like that. Okay, so I just got back from my walk to the ATM. I'd say I walked around for about 35 minutes, and after 35 minutes of wearing that mask, life was hell. I wanted to touch my face, touch my nose, mess with it. It's not a pleasurable experience because it's too hot here. Especially so if you're a tourist and you're coming here and you've got the N95 mask, which is the only mask that works now, that is now proven that this thing's aerosolizal now. We'll get into what aerosolizal is in a little bit. I'll also link you to some channels that will explain it much better than I am, as they are doctors and I am not. But it's not pleasurable to wear that mask for more than 25 minutes. You gotta remember, it's 92 degrees here and super humid, like all the time. I just don't see a vacation being awesome here right now, or a fun trip. I would definitely, if people keep asking me, should they cancel their trip, blah, blah, blah. I'm not here to tell you to cancel your trip. I'm here to give you information and what I would do if I was in this scenario. If I was in this scenario and I had a trip planned and booked here in the next 4 weeks, I probably would postpone it and reschedule, lose the few $100, whatever. Here's my reasoning for this. One, I don't want to be stuck in an airplane with people that I don't know are sick or not. This thing has now a 24-day to 28-day period of incubation. So, secondly, I don't want to get quarantined in a foreign country or my country when I come back. None of these things sound fun to me. Doesn't look like anybody's having a particularly great time in the quarantine zone. So let's just get to a little bit of news right out of the gate. This is Vietnam. To be sure, the Vietnamese government has tried its best to contain the spread of the coronavirus. Schools and universities have been shut down to keep their students and pupils safe. Those who spread fake news were fined for posting false news on social media. And volunteers have been given free face masks and hand sanitizer to the public. Vietnam instituted a travel ban to those who have visited China in the past 2 weeks on February 1st. Vietnamese officials have suggested that more steps are in progress. But the Vietnamese government is also operating within limits and realities, including Vietnam's geographical proximity to China, as well as the cross-border flows between the two countries, which have resulted in increased exposure, of course, for Vietnamese citizens into China. Given the significant attention the government has placed on this and the important effects it could have on this country, how exactly Vietnam navigates its coronavirus challenge will continue to be important to watch in the coming months. All agreed. So we're at our official 15th case today. A baby was infected from his grandma. This is in a northern province, of course. Everything's coming from this northern province, Vung Phúc. I can't say it properly, but almost all the cases are coming from the north, which, you know, tells us, like I said earlier, it's spreading from China up to the top and down to the bottom. Vietnam has plans to quarantine hundreds of its citizens returning from China, including 950 at a military camp outside Hanoi, another 900 at temporary facilities on the Vietnam-China border. It's said 10 out of the 15 confirmed cases are from the northern province of Vinh Phuc. Yeah, I already said that. Right now, total worldwide, 43,104 corona cases, 1,018 deaths, 4,000 recovered. So, I guess those are decent numbers if these are the stats to be believed. 80% recovered, 20% death if you catch it. So 80-20 is where it's sitting right now. So let's go to a channel. I want to talk about channels where I get a lot of my news from. Not news, but where they take the numbers, run it, figure out if, you know, if there's... As I was saying before, the Sony X3000 took a dive on the battery. So yeah, I'm going to talk about YouTube channels that I follow for news. The main one, the one I believe that puts out the best information, is called Peak Prosperity. I'm going to link all these places. He really does the numbers. He's a number guy and a doctor guy, so he actually takes stats and runs with the stats. I like what he says the best so far about this. Another guy is Winston Serpentenza. He's lived in China for 13 years, has a Chinese wife. They have WeChat capabilities back to Chinese doctors. He reports nothing but good information. He also has another channel with one of his buddies called ADV China. They also cover the topic very well. I like it a lot. And then my last one would be Dr. John Campbell. He does a fantastic job also of reporting on what he sees as a doctor, etc., etc. He, on his last video, pretty much said it's a pandemic as well. So it's going to come out in the next few days, maybe in a week, that it is a pandemic. We're going to have probably over 200,000 cases, I'd say in a week or two is my guess, worldwide. I can't speculate on this stuff. I'm not a conspiracy theory guy. I'm not a worry wart. I'm just a guy that is living here and giving my perspective as how I see it, and from all the news I've read and all the YouTubers I've watched, and what my opinion is. And I think this thing's going to be serious. It seems from what we have now the death toll isn't that high, so if you're a healthy person, you should be okay. We have no confirmation on this. Like I said, the virus is now aerosol, so it can move at a much more aggressive rate. It can get in your ears and get in your eyes. You don't have to be close to the person now. It travels literally through the air. It used to be that they thought it had to come through some kind of sneeze or something like this now. Now that's not the case. The incubation period is anywhere from 24 to 28 days. The WHO is still only going with the 2 weeks, so I mean, if it really is the 24 days, let's just even say it's 24 days, that means they possibly let go already a bunch of people that could be infected still. So like I said, I'll reiterate one more time, but if I had my trip booked here this month, no. Probably in the beginning of March, no, either. But we got to see how the information pans out once it all starts going real world information. So yeah, that's the video for today, guys. I'm gonna link every one of those YouTube channels so you can check it out for yourself. I'm gonna premiere the video so we can have a live chat with it. That's how I'm gonna do all the videos from now on. Any questions, just ask me, I'll answer them. If you want to give to Patreon, give to Patreon, but these videos aren't being made to make money, although that would help me greatly. But I'm not here to make money off of this. I'm not here to get subscribers or video counts, or I just want people to be informed. I'm kind of like the not named ambassador of travel to Saigon now. So I love this country. I love this city. I want all of you to come as soon as it's healthy to come. And if you still are going to come, go ahead and come. Just know that you're running some potential risks. Have an N95 mask, wash your hands a lot, use hand sanitizer, be careful. That's all I gotta say, guys. Everyone have a good day, stay awesome, be cool. Peace. So this is the pool area at my place. They've closed all 3 pools, even turned the chairs upside down. I will tell you this though, yesterday I came by on my run, because I still run outside, and a white tourist lady snuck in, flipped a chair up, and sunbathed anyways. Because why follow the rules? So this is the sign that's telling you 6th to the 19th, temporary suspension because of the virus. So just thought I'd share that with you guys too.